Okay, hey, it's Steve Forney from Keyboard Magazine at the 2015 Winter NAMM show, and I'm here with one of my longest and most esteemed colleagues, Craig Anderton.
Dr. Fortner, I presume.
Who is now wearing the mantle of Chief Magic Officer at Gibson Brands. But long before Craig worked for Gibson, he was a heavy user and really one of the world's prominent experts on the DAW software Cakewalk Sonar. And Cakewalk is, of course, now owned by Gibson.
Gee, I wonder how that happened.
And did you whisper in somebody's ear?
Yeah, well, Henry uses it.
Henry uses
Sonar.
CEO of Gibson.
Yeah, I use Sonar, so, you know.
Yeah, no, you've been a long time Sonar guy. And in the past, before working here, you wrote a lot of our Sonar reviews and Sonar how-tos. So we have a new version of Sonar, which uses not a subscription but a membership model, meaning you buy it once, and if you pay in certain increments.
There's basically two options. You can do it the way you've always done it. I buy Sonar, I have it.
You get a
it's
guitar
authorized,
Sonar,
it's mine, whatever. But when you buy it, if you're first time user, you get 12 months of membership. And what this means is you get the membership program, which we can talk about in a separate clip. But at the end, what you basically do is you own everything at the end of those 12 months. Now, if you're updating, you buy an update like you normally would. Like if you had been going from like X2 to X3 or something like that, it was normally like 150 bucks. You get your update, and then there you go. In this case, you pay it ahead, and you have 12 months of updates coming to you. But the difference compared to most of these models is that this isn't a rental thing. You're actually going to own it when you finish. It's
not a rental model like, say, Adobe Creative Cloud.
Yeah, you can still open the projects, even if you don't renew or if you don't do anything else. If you just leave it the way it is, you can still open your projects no matter what. So we thought that was like really important. I mean, if, you know, you're a musician and you need to open up an old project, you know, you don't want to like say my software's dead, right?
Right.
So that's the main difference. Now, as far as that's got a lot of the attention, because what's kind of cool is that people who maybe can't afford something like Platinum right off the bat, they can get it now, pay for it over 12 months, and own it at the end of it. But they get those 12 months of using it, you know, without having to shell out the money up front, so that's cool. But to me, what's really interesting about this is that software has always been a moving target. You know, it's always subject to development, there's bugs that need to be fixed, there's features that are being added, there's all this stuff going on behind the scenes. And what this membership model does is every month you get new stuff. Like if the development guys come up with some new feature, they don't have to wait and roll it into an update a year down the line along with 40 other things that all have to be quality controlled at the same time. Does A work with B, C, D, E, F, and G, and does G work with A, and does B work with D, and all that. They can take something, QA it, make sure it works, release it. So, and the other thing is that it's not just new features for the software. There's also content that comes with it too. Like I've done these new amp sims and things like that. I've been doing a lot of loops, and so we're more recognizing the fact that if you're going to be making music, you need tools to make the music in addition to the recording and mixing and editing and all that. It helps to have, like I did one series of loops that I call placeholder bass loops. They're totally boring. Tonic fifth stuff. You can drag them in real quick, and you've got something filling out the bottom.
You wrote a how-to for us about ways to streamline your songwriting, and it included the idea of using placeholders, even if you haven't figured out the final bass part or the final rhythm guitar part.
Or the chord library article that I wrote.
Exactly.
And you see now, what's really cool about that now, you can do that with pretty much any DAW, but the way Sonar's browser works is you can have it so that as soon as you click on something, you hear it. You can even send it to a different bus. So like, what really works for me is I've got a chord progression going along. What's the next chord going to be? I don't know. Click. No. Yes. Drag. You know, and then and it's taken care of. You know. So and in a lot of cases, what's funny about this is that in a lot of cases, the placeholders end up in the final cut. You know, it's like it works. You know, I throw an amp sim on, it sounds good. It's like okay. You know, and the other thing is those chords. The chords that were done for here. There's it can also be used as a playable instrument. So you can like play the chord progression if you don't want to drag, and you can get synth sounds. Although the original was done with guitar chords, and they were done with a '57 reissue gold top Les Paul. You know, so that was kind of like a little cachet right there. So it's fascinating stuff. I think that the modern reality is that software is not like buying a toaster oven, or something like that. It is constantly moving. It is constantly changing. One of the very cool things that Cakewalk recognized is that you might not want to update. You're in the middle of a project. You might not want to do it just then.
Right.
So you can postpone it if you want, do it later, or do the 2 or 3 updates from now, get a cumulative up to that point. You can roll back versions. Like, suppose you download a new version and it works perfectly except some weird third-party plugin that you've been dependent on doesn't play nice with it.
Yeah.
You can roll back to a previous one or choose a particular version or something like that.
And it's a constant update model.
Yeah, basically. And so there is no Sonar version number. It's just you get Sonar. And the other thing about the whole
it's more like a club.
Well, that's what it's called, a membership instead of a subscription. And the other thing is that there's this it's all done through what's called the Cakewalk Command Center. That's been a hugely popular part of the program for the people who have it right now. They've tried it. It's a really fast installation. It sees what you got. It downloads the new things. There's separate installers for stuff. So like all the stuff that I've done has its own installer. So if I come up with a new something, you don't have to download the whole program. You don't have to start over. You just download my part, puts it in there. It's really pretty painless. I gotta hand it to them. It's I think it really addresses the way that software exists in the real world these days with real musicians who need it to get a job done.
Very cool. We're looking forward to doing the review, and we'll be talking to
I wish I could.
my people. I don't have people. I will call your people about that. Yeah, little conflict there in having you write it at this point.
Yeah, but I really know the program well. No, but I always enjoy writing for you, but there's certainly...
if you see a byline, Andrew Craigerton in the magazine.
But I still, I still love doing those like synth programming articles and things like that. I mean, there's so much in this world.
No, Craig does continue to write for Keyboard Magazine. He has a regular column called Beyond the Manual, where you have many useful tips and tricks for streamlining your songwriting and production process, no matter whether you use Sonar or any other digital audio workstation software. They're as inclusive and agnostic as possible.
Well, yeah, because I mean, there's a reason why there's lots of different talks. People have different needs. I mean, I'm not they don't get weird that I still use Ableton Live for live performance.
Cool.
Because it's good for that. I use Vegas for my video editing and stuff like that. But Sonar, the reason why I use Sonar is basically it can handle anything that's going on. So I have to do lots of different things. I do narration, I do recording, I do remixing, I do audio for video, I do all these different things. I don't want to have to switch programs to do different things. So that's to me is the main attraction. So
very cool. Okay. Well, Craig, thanks very much.
Thank you.
And we will be in touch.
Absolutely.